Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Hey everybody. I realize there's a lot going on. We got some lives going on elsewhere, but I just had to pop in and say my 2 cents before I went to bed. Hey Lena, how you doing? Hey Trey. It's the fake goodbye. I know that's right, Trey, right? Hey Saida girl, how you doing? Hey Kim Kim, hey Life Journey. Hey figuratively speaking. So anyway, I popped on. Hey Nessa, how you doing? I popped on. Thank you, Life Journey. Like I said, I realize there's a lot of other stuff going on in the sector, but I still wanted to click on real fast and say what I had to say. Hey Tiffany, love. Before I laid it down tonight, y'all know how that go, right? So first thing, and I won't hold you guys long because, like I said, there's other stuff going on. Um, Child, I was getting a hey Leela, how you doing? I was getting a good kiki at Hey Pandora's box at Deanna over there reading Pizarro down, the weirdo down over there. I got a good little kiki, right? So anyway, it's been a lot going on all day today. And for the person, I don't know who that was, left me a message and told me to go over there and look at that TSCC interview. Thank you. I had no idea that that had happened, right? But now I understand why my name was brought up because I'm thinking, okay, right? So we going to give a little brief history lesson. Hey, Truth Never Fails. How you doing, love? So the first thing I want to talk about is and it was hey Jen Jen, it was really just like really something cute when I put Jiffy Mix Gate up there. And the reason why I called it Jiffy Mix Gate is because um, Kimmy was doing a live today, and she was doing a live about colorism. Um, and from what I understand, she feels like Pizarro or whoever or whomever. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because I don't know the origin of the name Jiffy Mix, but I'm assuming it sounds so remedial. It had to start with Pizarro, right? So, from what I'm understanding, she feels like when they're calling her Jiffy Mix, as well as something about Piggy Pearls or something like that, she feels like it is a colorist statement. Um, so Pizarro says that, and I honestly, I've heard Pizarro call her Jiffy Mix before, but I honestly, now I'm not even gonna lie, I never thought that when Pizarro was calling her Jiffy Mix, or because they were calling her Piggy and Pearls or whatever, or about the pig and the pearls or whatever. I never thought that that was in reference to her color. Like I never really thought that, right? So, but Pizarro did do a live, and I listened to a little bit of it, and she said she started calling her that because of her neck or whatever. But I never thought that that was because of her color. Like I never thought that. Now I also I had heard when they were talking about when they said that they felt like Nika said or was said that she felt like she was as popular as she would, her channel has become as popular as it was because of her color or the way that she looks or something like that. I didn't hear that live, so I can't say one way or the other. I can't speak to that one way or the other, but it never crossed my mind that when they was talking about a pig and a pearl and a Jiffy Mix that they were talking about a color. I'm not gonna lie about that. But Kimmy feels like it's a colorist statement, and that's what led um and that's just how I was thinking. I could be wrong, but that's just how I thought, right? Um, so I'm assuming that's what led to Kimmy's live today, right? But Pizarro seems to think that she was just trying to spin a narrative. She thinks that, from my understanding, from what I heard, this is the way I heard it, that she feels like it's spinning a narrative, and that really, basically, she's in her feelings about being called those names. We know that there are a lot of sensitive people on YouTube, right? So I can't, you know, hey, it is what it is. But the reason why I wanted to say it out there to say this, the subject of colorism came up, right? And so, hey, Uncle Cloud, how you doing, love? And because the subject of colorism came up, and I was listening at the time. Now I didn't hear everything. I didn't, but when I clicked on, they were talking about colorism, right? And y'all know that from time to time, when I'm having conversations about issues that concern our community, we have talked about colorism before. We have talked about many things on this channel. I'm assuming there are a lot of new people in the sector that don't know that I talk about a whole lot of things on this channel, right? Not just beef or whatever, right? Because I read when I was over there in the chat and I was reading, it was like, "Oh, Kimmy's changing the game." I'm thinking, "Oh, okay." So I guess okay, it is what it is. But some people don't pay attention, but it is what it is, right? And so, and I also think that, you know what, I'm not gonna say that. So for whatever reason, whatever the motivation, they had the discussion about colorism, right? So I hit the link because I want to say something, and but just I don't know if it was before I hit the link or while I was in the process of hitting the link, and I didn't even realize that Angry Man was I think Kimmy said Angry Man was a moderator on her channel. I didn't know that, because I don't go to her channel like that. But Angry Man, he hit the panel. No, no, I think I was up there first. I think I was up there first, and he was in a chat or something. He said something about him being a light skinned guy or whatever, right? And he has always had issue with that, whether he make it one. And I'm mentioning this because he questioned my statement. And you guys know that if you have been listening to me from other sectors, I know Cloud has, that I have gone back and forth with the Manosphere, the Black Manosphere. Demetra was over there, and she was saying, "Are you talking about the Manosphere, or are you talking about the Black Manosphere?" You guys know that anytime I'm talking about the Manosphere, when I say Manosphere, I'm talking about the Black Manosphere. I don't know anything about the non-Black Manosphere. I'm talking about the Black Manosphere. Okay. Thanks for becoming a member, Angela Hurd. I appreciate it, love. Thank you. That's nice. So I'm always talking about the Black Manosphere, and we know that um Angry Man considers himself to be a co-founder of, well, some of you guys that are familiar with that space, he considers himself to be a co-founder, the first wave of the Black Manosphere, right? So he's doing his wars me down in the chat, and then he jumps up on the panel and he wants to question me as to why I said what I said about him. Number one, he know why I said what I said about him. He wants to try to make it seem like he's never spoken derogatorily about dark skinned black women, in particular. And we all know that if you're familiar with that space, and Cloud can attest to this, that the whole Black Manosphere, their main talking point is when they speak derogatorily about black women. And for him to sit over there and lie like that was beyond me, but that was not my channel. And I was not going to get into a debate with the Angry Man on somebody else's channel, right? So after he got up there and he did his little spiel or whatever, I said I respectfully disagree, because he's full of shit. And he know he is. But before I left, I did ask, and I said, if you want to, come to my channel so that we can have a different type of conversation, you're more than welcome, right? So he can tell the truth and he can talk like he normally talks, right? Now I don't know what he been doing of late, but Yeah, we all know that he speaks very derogatory, just like the Black Manosphere have done for years, very derogatorily about black women, in particular dark skinned black women, right? So for him to sit over there on a panel full with a panel full of with the channel holder is light skinned or whatever, if that's what you want to call her. Kimmy was up there, and the V Lenore lady was up there, and they're talking about colorism from a light skinned woman's standpoint, right? So he jumps up there to speak about colorism from his standpoint. I'm not getting ready to have a heated argument with him, so I dismissed myself and I said, I want to thank you, Angry Man, for pretty much gracing the beef sector with your presence, right? So, and then I dropped off the panel. So then Kimmy proceeds to say that she felt like when I said that, it was sarcastic, or it was condescending, or whatever she said it was, and it was very much so that it was very much sarcastic. It was very much condescending, because he's a fucking asshole. And see, at certain point in times, it would behoove people to do their research. But then you got a group of women that really don't care, and they are excited by the opposite sex. Now this may or not be the case with this woman, and she may not give a damn, but I give a damn. But that is not my channel, and I don't want to cuss his ass out over there on her channel, right? So I just want to mention that, and that's why I hopped out. But I went up there not for him. um I went up there in order to give a brief history, because like I said, they're speaking from colorism. But here's the thing: when you speak about colorism, and we all know the history of colorism. We know that it pretty much culminated from slavery. It pretty much started with the raping of our ancestors, our sisters, our black female ancestors. The slave masters would rape our ancestors, the slaves. As a result of some of these rapes, that children would come out of it, and it would be the slave owner's child, mixed with the slave's child, right? A biracial child, right? And from that, the slave master, even to this day, white people use that, as a diversionary, a divisive tactic when it comes to black people, right? Because we are all black at the end of the day. Miss Olivia, I thought I was one of four who saw that there was a light skin bias. Absolutely. So we're gonna get into that, right? And so anyway, hey Natasha. And so, but like I really had to speak on this because, like I said, it's not my channel over there. And so, but I went up there to give a piece of history, and come because I'm kind of in the middle, and I can see to up to a certain point both sides, because there are very very light skinned people in my family. I've showed y'all pictures of some of my nieces and some of my nephews. Some of them are born with red hair, some of them are born with blue eyes, some of them are very very light, some of them are very very dark. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't have a and we've never been raised, uh I've never had to deal with a lot of the stuff that some of our dark skinned sisters have had to dealt with, because like I am the paper bag, if you will. Do you see what I'm saying? I've always been like, I've never had an issue with colorism. Not too light, not too dark. I'm just right there in the middle, right? It's just never been an issue, right? And like I said earlier, on that live though, that until I started paying attention to social media, I had never realized that there was so much of an issue when it came to colorism, right? Because we weren't raised that way in my family, right? And so, and sometimes, and because, none of my sisters, or pretty much nobody in my family, we've never been discriminated against, or called, a lot of the derogatory names that a lot of darker hued people have been called, right? And so, but you see it in school, and honestly, and unfortunately, you really don't pay attention to it, right? I mean, if it's not like directly affecting you, right? And so, but as I came on social media, and I began to realize how much a problem it is when it comes to colorism and dark-skinned black women in particular. Do you see what I'm saying? It's real disheartening, right? So we've had several conversations on my channel about colorism, right? And so um as it pertains pretty much the dark skinned black woman, because we are let me block this person, right, because I don't know who that is. But and I said on the panel today, before I got down, that I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but in the past couple of years, there have been a rise in black femicide. And what femicide is the murder of the unprovoked murder of black women, right? There has been a rise, and it's not even domestic violence. It's just straight up murder of black women. And a lot of these murders, when it comes to black women, are being perpetrated by black men. And I really believe that uh, there's a rise in black femicide because there is so much derogatory content on social media when it comes to darker hued or even brown skinned black women, right? So, and we've seen the videos of black women being stalked, hunted down and stalked at their homes, and we know, like I said, there's a riot. We seen, I seen a video. There's a video going around now, a murder case by a woman named Alexis Ware, and they're thinking that her boyfriend may have murdered her. There are several of these cases, right? And there's just like a lot going on when it comes to black femicide. And like I said, I really believe that it is largely in part because of what's going on social media, how the darker hued black woman is being demonized, right? And we know that, and let me circle back round to the manosphere. Um, when it comes to somebody like Angry Man and the Black Manosphere, they are the main perpetrators on YouTube when it comes to the demonization of dark skinned black women. And for Angry Man to sit over there and act like that is not the case is beyond me. Now, he has sit over there for years and years on those Black Manosphere panels with his old sage, with his godfather, BGS Ibmore, and they blame black women for everything. Everything bad, it's because of the black woman, right? You having a bad day, it's because of the black woman. You got to pay child support. Both of us didn't make this baby. It's because of the black woman. I ain't got no job. It's because of the black woman. My shoes too little. It's because of the black woman. I broke my tooth last night. It's because of the black woman, right? And like I said, this degradation has, caused a rise in black femicide, point blank, period. And I was really taken aback to even find out, number one, that he was even over here, and number two, that they over there caping for him. Like, if you want to cape for that grubby ass nigga, then cape for him. But like I said, if you want to really have a discussion about the black manosphere, don't sit over there where bitches is gonna be patting you on the back, and all of this and all that. Bring your ass over here and we can have a real discussion about the first wave of the black manosphere, right? And so that's how I felt about that. And so, yes, there's so many black women being killed by black men. Black Girl Unlost and Lil Gordon on YouTube show so many of the unfortunate tragedies, right, of black women being killed. Absolutely, absolutely lovely. So, and so, yeah, I was offended by him sitting over there like it, acting like it wasn't an issue, right? Um, like Journey said, Olivia, you gave a great history lesson today. I always say, if you don't know your history, it can be repeated. Absolutely. And I wanted to, give a brief history on both sides, because like I said, we got all, literally all shades of my family. Even one of my cousins has mixed children, right? So yeah, I don't want anybody to think that like I got any kind of chip on my shoulder, because anytime you hear a black woman speaking about the issue of colorism, if you're not a light-skinned black woman, they want to imply that you have some kind of chip on your shoulder, or you jealous of lighter hued women, and everybody knows that is not the case when it comes to me, right? So I wanted to give that brief history over there when it comes to both sides of the coin of colorism, right? Because there is a deeper rooted issue, but there's also an issue that's going on right now on social media, and that's a problem. Now, circling back around to the actual conversation that they were trying attempting to have. Now, I don't know the real origin of the situation. Do you see what I'm saying? So I have to take Kimmy at her word. And the way that she was speaking, she felt like she had an issue of colorism going on when it came to her and her skin tone, and being called Piggy and Pearls, whatever they call her, and being called Jiffy Mix, right? So, and like I said, when I heard her call those names, I never thought it was about her color in the first place. She seems to, so that is really on them, right? That this is just simply my opinion, right? So, but when you're having a conversation concerning colorism, and when you the conversation is being led by lighter hued women, right? So I feel that darker hued women that have gone through a whole lot of abuse simply because of their color, I think um, I think it's, I don't know if it makes them um, feel bad. I don't know if it makes them feel like this is, this is, I don't know if it makes them feel like the lighter hued woman can't sit around and have a pity party, because there is such a thing as light skin privilege. Do you see what I'm saying? We know that that is a fact. We know that lighter hued people are seen seen as less threatening by Anglos. We know that historically, as well as today, we know that, right? And then when, let me read this. 30 Low Down said, I wish you had of hit the panel because you teach history, not just emotions. We need you everywhere because you have great knowledge. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. True Black said, I love my blackness. I lead with it. Absolutely. It's in my home. Absolutely. Everybody knows that I am pro black. If you've been on my channel, we all know this, right? So they are highly mistaken. We need serious folks for serious. Absolutely, absolutely. That's right. That's why I'm speaking on my channel about it, because I really don't. I didn't like the undertone, right? And so we're getting to that, right? And so, hey, Mimi is a light skinned woman. There is definitely such a thing as light skin privilege. Hey, Miss Olivia and Bush. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you for saying it. Thank you for keeping a buck, because we know that there is such a thing as light skin privilege, right? And so, but when you have that type of conversation on Kimmy's channel, when I heard it today, is a good conversation, but I don't know what the motives were, right? And sometimes we know that you have to consider the source. And so I wanted to come on to add a little context to the conversation, right? And so, because I felt like, because I didn't like the undertone of the conversation or the ulterior motives, the alleged ulterior motives. A man told me last night, I love me yellow. It made me cringe. I know me. Child, I know, right? I know that you don't, not all lighter hued women lead with their color, or they don't use it as a badge of honor. They don't use it. Mimi is like my niece. I got a niece. She's really, 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 really light, right? And so, they used to have her mistaken in school because she's really, really light, like my grandmama was. And, they used to try to pick on her. They used to call her Barbie and all of this and all that, and she's pretty much had to beat them down. She is very much black identified, right? Just let me say that she is black, right? And so, because this we pro black in my family, period. This just how it is, right? So anyway, um, like I said, uh, wait a minute, who just killed him? Chop doing two things at one time. My show is on. Anyway, let me not look at TV. So here's what I want to talk about when it came to the conversation today in particular, right? Because I'm gonna bring it back to the beef sector, right? Miss Miss O, you missing the T, girl. Okay. Am I okay? I'm this is my live right here. If you feel like I'm missing the T, you should pretty go you pretty should probably should go over there and watch it. You see what I'm saying? If you think I missed it, because we having a conversation over here, right? And so anyway, um, so here's the reason why I didn't like the undertone. I didn't like the undertone because I don't know the ulterior motive or the true intention. Um, Everyone has problems, no matter the shade. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tar Beverly, and it's not about that. I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it back to this video right here in particular, right? And so, like I said, but if you know the history of what it is that I'm speaking of, you shouldn't be offended if you know the history, right? Because these things that I'm speaking about, they are uh they are pretty much facts when it comes to colorism, right? We all know that these things are true, right? So we know that the darker hued black woman is being demonized, right? Has always been demonized to the point to where they call darker hued black women the mammy muse of the black community, right? The only time they want to try us out is when they want us, to pretty much march or stand up for the black man, or moreover the black community, right? It's to the point to where a lot of these women are deciding that they don't want to be the quote unquote mammy muse anymore, and they want to divest from their community. And that's unfortunate because that is not what we need. But black men are so vile, some, not all, some black men are so vile towards darker hued black women in this day and age, they feel like it's nothing else for them to do, right? And if you listen to some of this crap, to some of this ignorant crap that's being perpetrated, not only in spaces like the Black Manosphere, but by rappers. It's like all over social media. Look at what's going on with the Supreme Court Justice nominee right now, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Listen to how the tone in which they are questioning this brown skin, this dark skin, very educated, overly qualified to sit on a Supreme Court justice. The way that they are disrespecting this black woman right now is a perfect example of what's going on in America when it comes to the brown skinned woman, right? They want to demean you, they want to talk down on you, they want to make you talk to you like you less than, they want to make you feel away, right? And we know that some dark skinned, even little girls, right? I got a video on my channel right now called The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. And I was so happy when I did that video years and years ago because it's a pretty little chocolate girl. They deemed her the most beautiful girl in the world. You got campaigns called Black Girl Magic. You got Beyonce singing a song called Brown Skin Girls. Do you see what I'm saying? All in an effort to lift up these beautifully melanated women, in our community, because our own community wants to demean them simply because of the color of their skin, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely inappropriate. It's unfortunate. It's freaking not cool. Right? Because we know who we are as black women. We know we are the first. We know that we are the true standard of beauty. Okay? If it were not for us, there would not be a people right now. Right? And so, but because of all of this, because of all of that, they want you to make you feel like you freaking less than, right? And we know that that is not true. But unfortunately, there are a lot of darker hued women, right? We got a lot of very, very brown skinned or dark skinned black woman channels on YouTube like Chrissy. I love Chrissy, right? She talks about the melanated black woman, right? Now she also talk about divesting, which I don't, or hypergamy. I don't agree with divesting. Ain't nothing wrong with hypergamy, but I don't agree with divesting. I don't, right? So child, let me take a breath. Let me slow down. Because I don't, I feel passionate about this subject, right? So I'm gonna stop it right there and roll it back, and we're gonna get back to this video, right? So, like I said, I kind of didn't like the undertone, right? I didn't like the undertone, because if you're going to talk about colorism, and it's especially if it's being led by a lighter skinned black woman, and I heard a lighter, yeah, I heard a lot of woe is me. Am I not dark enough? Am I not? This is the skin I'm in. All this and all of that there, and I'm thinking, okay, if that's how you feel how you feel, right? But like I said, she felt like it was an issue of colorism, or did she? I'm just gonna put it that way, right? And so, um, here's the other side of the coin, right? Another reason why I didn't like the tone of the conversation is because you can't be a lighter hued black woman and tell a dark skinned black woman or a brown skinned woman that has been called derogatory names simply because of the color of her skin by her own family members, by her own classmate, by the people in her own community. She has been ridiculed and talked down on all her life, and we've all heard the stories, right? And you can't sit up there and try to have that conversation with these type of women's, right? And so, um no matter how you feel about it, you can't have that conversation with you sitting up there right like that, right? And like I said, you have to consider the source. Now, had there been, I wish that I had joined the conversation from its inception, but like I said, I don't know the true nature. I don't know the undertone. And because I didn't know the undertone, I just got up there and I gave a little history coming from both sides of the coin. Because I didn't know the undertone, and I don't take conversations like that lightly, like I really don't. And I always, you always have to take into consideration of not only the past but what's going on right now. And what's going on right now is a lot of dark skinned black women are being demonized, right? So for you to sit up there, even angry man, to really say, oh, woe was me for whatever, you know what I mean, while you benefit from light skin privilege, even though you're considered black. And it's the truth. When you stop by the police, we know about the one drop rule. If you're black, you're black, right? But when it starts affecting you in your own community, see, that's the issue, right? That is a conversation that needs to be had, in my opinion. And you can make a lot of darker hued, black women, they don't have to be jealous of you. They just they might feel uncomfortable. Do you see what I'm saying? They might feel like you don't understand. They may feel like you are not in a position to have that type of conversation, because quite naturally you see the world through your eyes, right? You cannot see the world through their eyes, right? You cannot do that. It's just like it's not going to happen. So that was not a good, that was not, oh, I was like uncomfortable with the tone, right? I'm just going to put it that way, right? And so, especially if you wanted to weaponize, now I'm not saying Kimmy wanted to weaponize that conversation and spin it as a narrative, because that's what Pizarro thought. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if she was trying to spin that as a narrative, but if she was, that's very unfortunate, right? It's really unfortunate because it's a serious conversation, right? And like I said, you can't tell women that have been pretty much discriminated against in their own community, your problems, and you're not the one being discriminated against, right? That's not cool, right? Not in my opinion, that's not cool, right? And so I just really wanted to mention that. Um, I was kind of taken aback. I'm just gonna put it that way. I don't want to, you know what I mean. I wasn't good with that. I felt uncomfortable. Just let me say. But her feelings and her emotions are her feelings and her emotions, right? I just don't think that I feel like it could have been presented in a different way, right? You should not be giving your little woe is me speech when the right when you have such, and then you give your woe is me speech and you got somebody like Angry Man up on the motherfucking panel, right? Of all people in the whole damn world, somebody from the first wave of the black manosphere that's got a chip on his shoulder because he a light-skinned black man, right? That has for years demeaned dark-skinned black women, right? And called them everything but a child of God. You can't sit on that panel and do the woe is me thing. That's not cool. That didn't work for me. That made me uncomfortable. See, that's what made me question the intention of the whole live when he popped his ass up there, right? And sometimes it will behoove you to do a little motherfucking research. But like I said, that wasn't my panel, and I wasn't finna disrespect that woman's channel, especially with him. But like I said, if he ever want to have a real conversation about the black manosphere, he more than welcome to come over here and we can have a real conversation about the black manosphere with them dirty, dusty ass motherfucking niggas over there, in the way that they motherfucking move, in the way that they motherfucking talk. Okay? Because they know they can't take my motherfucking mouth. None of them. All right? So that's why I dismissed myself. Because I didn't have nothing kind to say to him. Yes, it was sarcastic. Yes, it was passive aggressive. Yes, it was everything they thought it was. The way that I said what I said to him and the way in which that I said it. But I'm not finna disrupt nobody's motherfucking panel. But I can say what the fuck I want to say about him with his dirty, ugly ass on my channel. Right? Okay? I'm just saying. Thank you, Life Journey. That Kimmy using her skin tone to intervict. Like I said, I don't know what the undertone of the conversation for was, but to me, ain't nobody got time for no goddamn woe is me when it comes to a colorism conversation that's being led by a lighter hued woman, especially when it comes to all the stuff that our darker hued sisters have to endure and have endured. A lot of them. Miss Olivia, okay, Miss Philadelphia. Hold up, cause girl, I want to hear it. Let me drop the link. Simply because the color of their skin coming from their own damn community. I don't like stuff like that. I'm not good with it, you know. But so I said, well, let me come over here and talk about it on my own goddamn platform real fast, cause we got other things to talk about. But let me drop this link for Miss Tip Philadelphia so she can let me know what the fuck is going on. Hold on. Here you go, Miss Philadelphia. There you go. And so, yeah, I really just wanted to mention that to y'all. But that Angry Man thing just set me. That just, whoo! I was like, oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I just felt away. I like Kimmy and I follow her up. But she's about building numbers. She just lives it. Let me see. Is this, here go Miss Philadelphia. Hold on. Child. Bye bye. Is this you, Miss Philadelphia?
Yes. Hey, Miss Olivia.
Miss Philadelphia?
Yes.
Hey, love. How you doing?
Hi. Can you hear me?
What's going on, baby? I
I don't
can,
want to.
yes.
I don't want to buck your live, so I'm gonna put it in the back chat, okay?
Oh, okay.
Unless you want me to just say it out loud.
No, just say it out loud.
Okay. You're missing everything. Kimmy is
Okay.
on her live telling it all.
Is she?
She's telling how Brianna couldn't fit in her car. She's telling
Mm,
how she's 680 pounds. She's
mm,
telling what happened at the Mercedes Benz dealership. She's telling
mm.
us how Brianna ate 16 burgers every day
Woo!
for a week. It's 1,000, it's 1,100 people here. She's telling it all. I know you want to know this, but I didn't want to buck your live. That's why I didn't type it. I was like, Miss Olivia, you missing stuff. So I don't know if you want to
Lord,
end yours to go over there, but it is
I'm
juicy.
gonna. I'm gonna go.
All right, well, you better get over there because I'm going. You know, I don't even like Kimmy, but I'm going back over there because she is giving it all up. She is leaving nothing on the floor.
Oh, I'm going right. Zach Smith, girl, you did me a solid.
I know I did. Bye,
I'm
Miss
gonna have to
Olivia.
get the
See you
children
over
on this
there. I
one.
can't type in her chat because I'm blocked, but I'll be there.
Okay, I'm on my way, child. I'm on
All
my
right,
way.
bye.
Woo, child. Okay, y'all, look. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna start this. You know what? I'm gonna leave this up, and we gonna stop on this colorism conversation, right? And I'm gonna change the title, but I'm gonna leave this Jiffy Gate up, and I'm gonna go see the T, and I'm gonna come back, and we gonna finish the other points. She is building numbers, but I'm still beefsteak the dirty low down. So that's pretty much what I had. All I had to say about the colorism issue. But we gonna come back and finish the other parts, because the other part was about TSCC doing the thing and Brianna saying that she was leading, and that'll give me more commentary, right? But I hope y'all understood what I was saying about the colorism issue, right? So I'm gonna go over here and watch this video and catch this tea, and we're gonna come back. Okay, I'm gonna go get me something to eat. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. I see you guys over there. Y'all be safe. Bye bye. Peace. Mm, Ciao.